Hi and welcome to C3 Life Online. This month we're talking about our heart for mission as we also consider how we're going to give in our vision offering as a church. And today Gosha is going to share some of her story of how God challenging her to do something led her to start a charity that touches hundreds of people across Leeds today. If you'd like to find out more about how you can be part of our vision offering this month, then make sure you check out the announcement video on our channel here on YouTube, or you can head to c3.life/hearts for all of the details. And if you are new to our channel, it's great to have you here. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so, and do leave a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. If you want to get in touch, if you want to share a thought or a prayer request, then you can also do that through our website. Just head to c3.life/connect, or you can use the QR code that is on your screen right now. Great, well, let's get to this message. Here's Gosha and her message called Do Something.
Hi church, today my mission is to encourage you to do something. In fact, this is the title of my message, Do Something, if you're writing notes, and I would encourage that. Can you imagine what our cities would look like if we all took the heart for the city seriously and we all did something? So some of you might not be aware of this, but 15 years ago I decided to do something. And that's something that started as a small play group and a couple of courses and parents groups is now each year touching the lives of over 800 beautiful people who live in some of the most disadvantaged communities in Leeds. What God has done with a very small community project and with the help of fabulous people who have been so faithfully supporting the project by either giving or volunteering or looking after my small children, so that I could do the work, is absolutely miraculous. In 2009, after my maternity leave, I have decided not to go back to work as a family support worker with a national charity and started my own project working with families. It probably wasn't the wisest decision to go from a wage to no wage when you have two young children, Joel, who was 5, and Anya was 1 at the time. To be able to afford this financially, we got a lodger, and I'm not a house-sharing kind of person. I am too particular about the cleanliness of the bathroom and too worried about any wood kitchen worktops getting stained with coffee rings. So I'm not sure how we actually survived that season. But the school that I used to work with through the previous employment in the south of Leeds, Middleton Primary, were keen for me to go back and to run a weekly group for parents in their little cabin. So my mums from Middleton, as I call them, were the first recipients of Christmas hampers that we did in December 2011, when we delivered our first 25 hampers. And ever since then, all those mums have been coming each year, helping with the hampers and helping to bless other families at Christmas. And the Christmas hampers appeal has grown from 25 hampers in the first year to 50 in the second, 75 in the third, whooping 100 in the fourth, 200 in the fifth. And over the last few years, we deliver between 500 and 600 hampers each Christmas. We have over 10 local businesses involved in supporting this, with over 80 volunteers helping. For example, I first met Alex, who is part of our leadership team here at C3 Life, when he worked for PwC and was volunteering for hampers before he even committed his life to Jesus. So many people in our church who work for large organizations also get involved. And maybe sometimes they get their team at work involved in volunteering regularly. So Project Hope, if you don't know much about it, works mainly in Bermontoft's and Richmond Hill ward of Leeds, which is one of the most disadvantaged but beautifully diverse communities. And our mission is to bring hope to families and individuals and the communities, really. And my goodness, don't people need hope at this moment in history? And what we do is we create an encouraging environment that brings together people of various nationalities and cultures and beliefs and languages. And we help them to break down some of the barriers that exist between different groups. And together we help them to flourish in life. In today's divided culture, it is so amazing to see mums from countries such as Czech Republic and Eritrea and Somalia and India and United States, Romania, England. And what they do, they discover that no matter where they are from and how they got to be in UK, they all want the same things. They want their family to flourish. They want their children to thrive and do well in life. They all face the same battles over bedtimes and picky eaters, too much screen time, and rushed homeworks, and maybe worrying over their children's friends' choices and worrying behaviors when they become teenagers. So our main area of work is working with families and enabling families to thrive, parents to bring up healthy, loved, and confident children as they grow in their parenting skills. We also enable local people to grow in confidence and in emotional resilience and in various other life skills that help them maybe to get jobs and create a better future for their families. Just to give you some statistics, we now have 4 part-time members of staff and around 80 volunteers, both from the local area and from local businesses. We teach parenting skills to around 60 parents a year, including a 10-week group that gives parents confidence and skills to get their children ready for school, because this area has got the lowest school attainment at the primary level out of all the wards in Leeds. But it is slowly improving, which is great. And some of the parents we work with are working towards getting their children returned to their care after they've been removed by social care from their homes for a variety of reasons. And we are probably the only project that allows those parents to attend our courses and we give them a chance. So we have played a part in many families being restored. Each year, we regularly see over 40 families at our weekly playgroups that are crazy. There is often, over 65 people in the room, including, babies and toddlers. But it helps. We help by creating meaningful friendships with the families, and we are able to meet some other additional needs as they arise, so things don't have to escalate. And also we provide a place that is really safe for them and a place where they can form friendships with other moms. And that helps them because then they have local support structures that are outside of the groups. So most of our parents love attending, and we have waiting lists for a lot of things because they are very popular. But they all say that the groups have really helped them to feel at home, and it helped with their mental health, and especially since COVID. So since we started, we helped over 50 people gain employment. So either as a result of attending a job club that we used to run or gaining experience through volunteering. Some people even started small businesses. And also over the last few years, we taught over 60 families how to budget through CAP Money course. And some of them also cleared their debts, which is obviously life-changing for them. So each year we run community fun days as well, attended by 100 to 200 and sometimes even 300 local people. Again, those can be mayhem. So here is a short video showing you some of the things that we've been doing.
Being a single parent, it's difficult, and Even when you've got a partner with you, it's still so difficult, especially for mums and fathers that have got children on their own. I think it's really important to teach children and have that one-to-one communication with them before they start school. So they've got a head start, and to get that connection with the child, to get that one-to-one connection for the bond.
Was the speakeasy, because having a family of my own and having teenage children, younger children, and I guess talking to your kids about sex is not the most comfortable thing to do. So through that course, I've learned many different ways to speak about sex with my children. I don't even feel uncomfortable now. So they can ask me, I can say things to them.
The main reason for doing all the courses and stuff was to socialise and just to get out of the house, and it's helped me do that a hell of a lot, and it's built up my confidence as well. I don't know if it seems like that now, but yeah.
Now for over 6 years. My little girl's now 6, she goes to school, and then I had Darla. But while I was pregnant, I still came and helped out. It's just good to get together with everybody and, enjoy a cup of tea while your kids are playing, and then meet other mums, and whatever struggles you have, you can, you're not on your own. And I had a really traumatic time having my daughter, and they helped me get through it after. It's just somewhere to go. I don't really go anywhere. So on a Wednesday, I look forward to coming to playgroup to see everybody and the kids, and it's just good, yeah.
I'm very excited about Eva Gardens because that's my location and that's where I live. So I'm hoping to do courses, but I'm also hoping that I'll be able to help Gosha, even in volunteering or, I know the people in the community. I can get a few mums on board from schooling. So I'm very, very, very excited about Eva Gardens Community Centre.
To see it up and running again, it's just waiting for that day, and I'm hoping that I'm not too old to see it by the time that time comes.
It's very exciting.
Bringing communities together, we'll have our own space to help more. We can be like a community hub, so we can send people to other places that can help if we can't provide the help for them. It's going to benefit the community so much.
It's helped me in my confidence, and it's helped me to think about doing other courses, what I want to do next, and not shying away from it, because I've shied away from academical stuff because I've not felt strong enough or confident enough to go out there and put myself out there for those things, whereas now I'm doing 2 courses at the moment. And if it weren't for Gosha and the courses I've done with her and the support I've got through doing them, I might not have had the confidence to go out and do further things. So I'm very grateful for all the help and support I've received from Project Hope.
Helped me communicate with other people and socialise with people, especially after COVID and lockdown. And they've helped me and referred me to things for my mental health as well.
The support, especially through lockdown and everything, the support when I broke up from my children's father, and the support getting into work, all of that. She's just, Gosha and the team are great.
So this is amazing, but why did I start the project? So first of all, I used to volunteer for a project working with women who had some serious life-controlling issues. And I quickly realized that a lot of their problems come from wounds from their childhood, from broken family life, from parents who didn't know how to show them love. And even though it was great privilege to help some of those women, but I thought that maybe we could stop that brokenness from happening in the first place by working with parents so that they can learn to love their children in a healthy way, so we could give the parents the parenting skills that they need and maybe they've not learned from their families, that would enable them to bring up strong and confident and thriving children. I saw a need and I decided to do something about it. And the second reason was that our pastor at the time, who started that charity working with women, has asked all the lead pastors at the time to do something in their cities. She said, do something. So I did. I also did it because Jesus commanded us to love the Lord our God with all our heart and with all our soul and with all our strength and with all our mind, and our neighbor as ourselves. So I decided to do just that. I decided to do something in response to this commandment. I love that in the community we support, all the churches work together. It doesn't matter whether they are Anglo-Catholic, Methodist, Anglican, Pentecostal. Together we believe that it is a mandate of a church, and this is a church with a capital C, to preach the good news to the poor, to set the captives free, to bring sight to the blind, and to bind up the brokenhearted. Since the church's conception, as recorded in the Bible book of Acts, it has always been church's mandate to look after the disadvantaged, the widows and the orphans, the sick and the poor. I'm not sure that if you are aware of this, but how countercultural social action was in the first century Roman Empire, where the predominant narrative was that of the conqueror and the conquered. It is thanks to the church that has been on a mission to love people, that we have schools, that we have hospitals and orphanages. It is also thanks to Jesus' teaching and the teaching of the early apostles that we believe in equality and value of each life, no matter ethnicity, background, financial situation, gender, belief, age, status. They took the commandment of Jesus to love their neighbor as themselves very seriously. And I would encourage us to do the same today. So how do we do this? Now, each of us, heart of the city can seem a bit out there. You know, maybe we think it is for the evangelist or the prayer warriors or people with lots of resources. For me, heart for the city means doing something, seeing the need and responding to it, using anything that is in our hands to make a difference and to show God's love to our colleagues at work, to our friends at school or uni, to our next door elderly neighbor. Just do something. Jesus taught us how in the Bible, in the story of the Good Samaritan. And you can find it in the Gospel of Luke, which chapter 10, verses 25-37. So let's read it together. On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up and tested Jesus. "Teacher," he asked, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" "What is written in the law?" he replied. "How do you read it?" He answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." "You have answered correctly," Jesus replied. "Do this and you will live." But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" In reply, Jesus said, "A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too the Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey and brought him to an inn and took care of him. The next day, he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expenses you may have. Which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers? The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise. I love this. Go and do likewise. In other words, do something. What can we learn from the story of the Samaritan? So first of all, don't expect someone else to do something. So in verses 31 to 32, it says, a priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, passed by on the other side. It could have been assumed that a priest or a Levite will do something. They were the holy men of the era, but they didn't. Maybe the priest assumed that the Levite would do it, or the Levite assumed that the priest would do it, and they both didn't. It is called a bystander effect. So don't be a bystander. Do something. If you see the need and you can meet it, do it. It is easy to expect others will do something. You know, I often hear people say, what is church doing about ... I don't know. You are the church. What are you doing? Do something. If you feel passionate about the poor, buy someone a sandwich or a coffee. You don't have to start big. You can start very small. Pay for someone's shopping. Find out what is happening locally and help out at the local project that helps the poor. If you would like to support the elderly, ask your elderly neighbor if they need anything picking up from the shops, or have a cup of tea with them. You know, they might be lonely and they need someone to just listen to their stories. And my goodness, those stories will enrich your life too. If you are passionate about families, volunteer at Project Hope or another local project. Or if you don't have time, give financially. But please do something. The second thing we can learn from the story is that it will cost you something to do something. So in verses 34 to 35, Jesus tells us this. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine, not just water, you know, it was the more expensive stuff. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. So he spent time taking care of the Samaritan. The next day, he took out 2 denarii. I'm not too sure how much that is, but it probably would be enough to pay for an inn, so it's probably a substantial amount, and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expenses you may have. He had no way of knowing what those extra expenses will be, so he was just generous, and, you know, that's quite amazing. So it cost the Samaritan time and resources and money to look after the beaten up man. He counted the cost, and yet he did something. It initially cost me a salary and security to start the project. But God has been so incredibly faithful to us and provided so generously for everything that we ever needed, both for us personally and for the project. You know, it still cost me energy and creativity and sometimes sleepless nights, if I can be honest, especially before we have to raise enough money for 600 hampers that I do believe, you know, God wanted us to do. But as always, my faith gets tested by last-minute miracle. But it's so worth it, seeing the faces of those families who are blessed over Christmas. I loved last week's message that Rachel brought that said, don't worry about what you do. Don't worry about what you don't have. Give what you have. If you have money, give money. If you have time, give time. If you have energy and vision, give that energy and vision. If you have family, give your family. Include someone who might be lonely in your family life. Give friendship, give a hug, give a smile, a kind word of encouragement. But whatever you do, do something. And the last thing is, there will always be a reason not to do something. So in the story, the expert in the law was trying to wiggle out of doing what he knew God commanded him to do. He tried to justify himself. That's why he asked Jesus in verse 29, and who is my neighbor? Because he was trying to justify himself. There will always be a good reason for not doing something. We don't have enough time, it's not a good season because we just got married, or we have young kids, or we are too busy at work, or we don't have money. But I have a story after story of people giving something. Their time, their talent, their money, when it's not convenient, when the season is not quite right. You know, for example, Elgin, he's a doctor in our church, and he works ridiculous hours. Yet he gave up his free Thursday to come and help out at Project Hope Easter Community Fun Day. You know, John and Jen, again from our location in Leeds, have a young child, and yet they come super early in the morning to set up church with Jemima, who, by the way, thinks that she runs the church, but she loves it. Steve and Shelley could be thinking, oh, it's time maybe to retire, yet they often volunteer. And if they can't volunteer, they decided that they can still do something, and they generously support Project Hope Leeds with their finances. Watson is working full-time. It's pretty good reason not to do something, yet he managed to involve his whole company in volunteering for us. There will never be a perfect time to do something. The stars don't often align. The ducks, are not neatly in a row for us to do something. So now is as good time as any, so let's just do something. And some of you might be maybe inspired today to start a little project. Some of you could maybe get together with a small group and do some gardening for an elderly neighbor. Some of you could invite a neighbor for a coffee, or go and visit them and spend some time with somebody who might be lonely. You could volunteer at the local playgroup or project, or you could support one financially. Even £5 a month can make a massive difference. And if you don't have enough money, maybe you could do a sponsored walk or a run for Project Hope Leeds or any other project that is happening in your city. Or you could ask around in your office if anyone would like to volunteer for this year's Campus Appeal, for example. Companies often have volunteering days available to their employees. There are lots of ways in which we can love our cities and have a heart for the city. So let's just do something. So let me pray for us. Thank you, Jesus, that we have something in our hands that we can give, that you always provide for us more than enough so that we can bless other people. I want to thank you, God, that you call us out and you call us to do something, to be a light, to be your hands and feet in our communities. So Lord, I pray right now that you will give us creative ideas. I pray that you will help us to get over any of the excuses that we might have, that we might get over living very comfortable lives and doing things like watching Netflix most of the evenings. And Lord, I pray that you will enable us to reach out with your love, that we would truly love our neighbors as we love ourselves, Lord. And I pray that we will see our cities impacted by the love of Jesus. In Jesus' name, amen.
standing with the risen King, staring at an empty tomb. 'Cause Jesus, you're the living proof. There's nothing that you cannot do. I pray we got to see you move. There's resurrection power right here. It's breaking out. Let dead things come to life. Let dry bones come alive. The one who empties grave is here to do the same. Let dead things come to life. Let dry bones come alive. Come alive, come alive. Let dead things come to life. Come alive, come alive. Let dead things come to life. Come alive, come alive. Let dead things come to life. Come alive, come alive. Let dry bones come alive. Woo! I'm running out of the grave. I'm running out of the grave. Sickness, get out of my way. There's healing, there's healing. I'm running out of the grave. I'm running out of the grave. Strongholds, it's time to break. There's freedom here. I'm running out of the grave. I'm running out of the grave. Sickness, get out of my way. There's healing here. I'm running out of the grave. I'm running out of the grave. Strong road is time to break. There's freedom here. Come alive, come alive. Let dead things come to life. Come alive, come alive. Let dry bones come alive. Come alive, come alive. Let dead things come to life. Come alive, come alive. Let dry bones come alive. There's resurrection power right here. It's breaking out. Let dead things come to life. Let dry bones come alive. The one who empties graves is here to do the same. Let dead things come to life. Let dry bones come alive. Come alive, come alive. Let dead things come to life. Come alive, come alive. Let dry bones come alive. Come alive, come alive. Let dead things come to life. Come alive, come alive. Let dry bones come alive.
So good. Well, look, if you'd like to find out more about our church, or if you'd like to ask a question or request some prayer, then you can do that today on our website. Just go to c3.life/connect. It's very simple. Just a quick email, and whatever you want to send to us, you can do that. If you are in the Leeds or York area, then we've got in-person gatherings that happen every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Where you'll always get a warm welcome. We've got a great kids program in both those places as well if you have children, and plenty of free parking. All the details for our services are on the website at c3.life. And please do check out the vision offering announcement. You can give right now via our vision offering page at c3.life/hearts, or if you're using a direct bank transfer like you might normally do for tithes and offerings, please, you can use the same bank details. Just make sure you add a reference including the word vision, so that we know that you're putting it towards the vision offering. Finally, if you'd like to bring your usual tithes and offerings, then you can also do that via the usual link that is on your screen right now. Great. Well, we'll be back here next Sunday for the final part of our Hearts series. We're here 10:30 a.m. every Sunday with the message and some worship for you. So make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss a thing. Brilliant. Well, I hope to see you then. Have a great week and God bless.